Hey y'all, and welcome to Monter's Market, and welcome to Bloom with Grace. This is a brand new year and a brand new start for Bloom with Grace. So for this January, my co-host is Jamie at SimpleRoots, SimpleLiving, and she has chosen wildflowers, not wildfires, to be her flower of choice today. I am super excited and honored that she is doing this with me. Now let's get right into my first DIY. For DIY number one, I made these cute little cloches and added some wildflowers inside of them to just sort of bring them to life. I made nearly everything with Dollar Tree items, if I remember right. And I will try my best to put everything down in the description if I can still find it, because the things in this video are actually from one of my very first videos that I did that hardly anybody saw. I've been doing that a lot lately because I've gotten so many new subscribers in the past 6 or 7 months, and a lot of these videos have not been seen yet. And it's made it a lot easier with the holidays being here and me being so busy. So anyway, what I did is took some ivory paint by Waverly. I took these cloches that you can get from the Dollar Tree, added some of the green moss that you get at the Dollar Tree, added the little wildflowers that you see, and that's just me showing you some spackle that I'm going to add to the beads that I'm going to put on the top of it. Actually, on the top of one, I'm going to put a bead, and on the top of the other, I'm putting a tiny little bean pot that I flipped upside down. I'm also taking this truffle paint by Waverly, and I'm just going to distress down that ivory a little bit to give it more of a farmhouse look. And that's what I was actually shooting for with this whole video, was just a real farmhousey kind of look. So I take the truffle and I distress it down. Once I get them distressed down, I go ahead and put everything inside. Now those, the bottom, the candles, those are also from the Dollar Tree. Now, the topper for the cloche, the thing right there, normally sits on top of that little piece right there, but it would not fit on my candlestick right. So what I had to do is flip it upside down, which ended up working so much better anyway, and setting my glass piece on top of it, or inside of it instead of on top of it. I'll get my thoughts straight here in a minute. Anyway, then I took some of this really pretty farmhouse burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree and just added it around the bottom of the cap for the cloche. I guess that's called a cap, or the bottom, or whatever you want to call it. And added that, and I thought that was so pretty. And then I just took some twine and wrapped it around it. And then you will see me in just a minute make like a little bow, sort of. Listen, I still to this day am not a good bow maker, but I surely wasn't back then. So I just flipped over this piece of ribbon that you see, and I tied a piece of twine around the middle of it. It's so pitiful. But, I was trying my best back then. And I'm not perfect by no means now, but I've definitely come a long way. And so I take that little bow and I add it to the front of my candlestick. And once I got that done, I was ready to go back in and fill up my little cloche holder and put everything inside of it. Now, this is just me doing the other one. I'm using that same ribbon going around it, but what I'm doing on this one is I have a really cute little burlap rose that I got from BB Crafts, and that's what I added to the front of this to just give them, something different so they're not both exactly the same. And then that's where I'm taking this Spanish moss, or reindeer moss, I believe it is, and adding it to it. Then I'm going to add my little wildflowers in there. And the little pig and the little cow I got from the Dollar Tree probably like a year and a half ago. and I never used them. They were still in the package, and they were absolutely perfect for this particular DIY. And I thought they were so cute and so farmhouse, and they turned out way better than I thought they would have. So that's just me filling it up with my little wildflowers and my little pig and cow. And once I got that done, I put the tops on them and they were done. And I can't wait for you to see what they look like. This is just me finishing up the second one here. And this is probably 3 or 4 different pieces of different wildflowers that I had that I just kind of put all together to make this little cloche right here. And that was it, and here they are. I cannot wait to hear what you think about this down in the description box. I'm going to show you them one by one, and then I'm going to show you them together the way that I had them staged. They're just so pretty. Look at that cute little darling right there. And look at those wildflowers. Aren't they beautiful? I think it makes the pig just stand out, and I love the way these turned out. Kind of, sort of like I had them pictured in my head, but honestly a little bit better, because I don't really know why. I didn't have them pictured as full as I was able to get them, and I just love the way they turned out. So I'm going to hush just a sec and let you see them together the way I staged them. Look how cute. Definitely, though, leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about this. And if you like what you see so far, give me a big thumbs up. That really, really, really helps my channel. So now let's get into my second DIY after I finish showing you this one. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. I forget how long I've kind of looked at it or whatever, filmed it for you guys to see. Now we're going to get into my second one. So for my second DIY, I made this really pretty, I don't even know what you call this, picture, I guess. So I had this picture right here that I got from my local Goodwill for, actually it was on sale for $1, and I go on senior day, so I get it 50% off, and I got it for 50 cents. And I did not need the canvas, so I just cut it off as you see. Now what I did is broke the bottom of it. But that actually turned into a good thing because of the way I ended up fixing it. And I did struggle to get it glued back together. It was not easy. And I'm going to show you what I had to do to fix it. I ended up trying glue and staples and all kind of stuff, and nothing would work. So I gave up for right then, and I went in with this Deco Art, this wash. It's just like the antique wax, and I just painted the whole thing. Now this was sort of like an MDF or whatever you call it, so it soaked it up, and it didn't, like when I went to wipe it off, usually when you add this kind of stain, you want to take a baby wipe or something and go back in and wipe it off. But the material that this was, it soaked it in and it didn't do any good to wipe it off. So what I did is I took my white Waverly chalk paint and I just dressed it down, and it really gave it more of a farmhouse look, honestly. And I was glad that that happened. And I was also glad that I broke it, because when I broke it, I ended up using some twine to wrap around the middle right there where I broke it at. And to me, it just made it so much more farmhouse looking. So what I did is, that was just me saying back then not to take your paper off whenever you have your rope, to leave it on, and it just keeps it rolled up better. But anyway, what I ended up doing was wrapping the 4 corners, the very bottom middle, because that's where it happened to break, thankfully, and then the top middle, just to make it all kind of jive together. So once I'm just showing you the whole. Anyway, once I got that done, I took some chicken wire that I got from Walmart. Now this big humongous roll, and when I tell you humongous roll, it was a humongous roll, was $5. And look at that. That looks almost identical to what I'm going to do. And I didn't even know that when I bought it. I just thought it was funny whenever I started to take the paper off. I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I'm doing right there. So now this stuff here is wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and wrapped in a wire. But save it because you can always use it for later. Now this was very easy to cut, but what I had to use is the little fingernail clippers that you get from the Dollar Tree for pets. When I tried professional wire cutters, I struggled to cut it, but when I use them cheap little $1.25 now things, it cut just like butter. So then I took my staple gun and I stapled it to the back, stretched it out, stapled it to the back, and I thought it was so cute. Now is where my wildflowers come in. I took several different ones. Viburnums, I guess I'm saying that right, the mini mums, and they all just come together so stinking cute. And I just took several different ones, a hot bush. I don't even know what a hot bush is, but all together, they looked really cute. And I took this woodbine wreath from the Dollar Tree, and I just started cutting those flowers apart and just sort of pushing them down into that wreath. And it was so funny because the way it was made, I didn't even have to use any glue, which was great for me because it saved me glue, saved me money, all that good stuff. And I just kept like layering the flowers in there, layering them till it was really full looking. And I thought it was so pretty. I was really, really proud of the way it turned out. Then once I got the wreath like I wanted it, I took several different ribbons that I got from here, there, and everywhere, honestly. I think that one actually came from Family Dollar. I've got Dollar Tree in there. I've got Hobby Lobby. I've got Walmart. Just a ton of different ribbons. Most of them Dollar Tree. But anyway, I'm doing what they call a messy bow. And that's because, like I said, couldn't back then, still can't really now make a good bow. But I thought this one turned out pretty cute. So I'm just like stacking up all these random ribbons. And then once I get it where I want it, I take a zip tie it together, and make my little bow. And then after I got that done, I went in and sort of trimmed it up because it was not even at all. And then I added another little bow that I got from BB Crafts and a couple of buttons. And I zip tied that to my wreath. And I took 3 buttons, a big one, a medium, and a small one, and sort of stacked them on top of each other. And they just turned out so cute. And the colors were perfect for this particular wreath and all the ribbons that I used. And then once I got that done, I just took another piece of this ribbon and wrapped it around the thing and hung it, and look how stinking cute that turned out. I love this so much. And I had so much of that chicken wire left over. I could do, oh my goodness, I don't even know how many more of these I could do, but I used very, very little, and there's a ton left, and it was super cheap. So let me know down in the comments what you think about this. It's so farmhousey looking, and I'm so proud of it. It's still hanging in my den right now, and like I said, I made it over a year ago. And I get so many compliments when people think I made it because they think I bought it. They always think I bought it somewhere. And that kind of makes me proud whenever they say that. Now let's get into DIY number 3. This is one of my favorite things too. Now, this one I'm adding into the wildflower one because it's got so many different flowers down in there. Like, it's just a bunch of wildflowers. Now this vase I got, it was 2 for $99 at the Goodwill, and I thought it was gorgeous. Can you see those bubbles in that glass? It's made that way, and it's so pretty. It's very big, It's not a small vase at all, and I just love the way it looks. So what I decided to do is put a piece of tape about halfway around, and then I wanted to go in with my ivory chalk paint on the bottom and just give it a really good thick coat of paint. And once I got that painted and it dried, I went back in with a couple of those ribbons that you saw me using for my wreath. And that's the one that I got from the Family Dollar probably 3 or 4 years ago. I've had it for a long time. And then I just wrapped it around sort of in the middle where the paint and the glass met and glued that on there. And then I took another one from the Dollar Tree and wrapped it on top of that. And then you will see me use another one of those cute little burlap bows from BB Crafts and put on top of that. And once I got that done, all I had to do was just fill it up with my random flowers. And now when I first did it, I did have a really pretty bush of actual wildflowers. But as time went on, I kept adding this little sprig of flowers, that little sprig of flowers. And now it's a bunch of wildflowers, all right, but it's not wildflowers in the sense of wildflowers. It's wildflowers in the sense of those are some wildflowers you got in that vase. And you'll see what I mean in just a minute. But how cute is that bow? I love it. And then I went back in with a couple of little buttons, and you can get those from the Dollar Tree. You can get them in the neutral colors, and you can also get them in the really vibrant colors. But I just took a couple of the buttons, stacked them together on this, and called it a day. And I thought it was so cute. Now, there's my wildflowers that I originally had in there, and I think those are so pretty. And they were gorgeous, and I got them on sale for $2 at Hobby Lobby. I was blown away because it's a very, very large, it was regular $16, very large bunch of flowers. Look how pretty that is. I love that. Isn't that gorgeous? But then you'll see in just a minute where I kind of kept adding this flower and that flower, and I just love this little jar. I think it's so pretty, and I'm so proud of the way it turned out. And I'm proud of the way this whole video turned out. And I cannot wait to see what Jamie at SimpleRoots SimpleLiving has made for us. And I'm so honored again, like I said, that she has, said she would be my co-host for this. And I'm just tickled to death because she's so sweet. She was super sweet to me when I very first started. She was so helpful and so generous. And it just touches me that she would even want to be a part of my playlist. So here it is now, the way it looks today, with several other just different flowers and stuff in it. But I think it still looks pretty. And now those little pumpkins I put in there around September, I think. But they're so stinking cute, I cannot bring myself to pull them out. So, yes, it's January, but they are still sitting in that vase on my shelf in my den. So don't judge. I think it's cute, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I'm just being silly. But yeah, I really do like the way it turned out. But anyway, I'm going to hush and let you see my final reveal. And I just wanted to say thank you again, Jamie, for being my co-host today. Thank you for everyone who participated in this. And if you are a creator and you would like to join Bloom with Grace, just send me a message on Instagram and I will add you to our group chat. And I would love to have you. Now, if you do it, you don't have to do it every single month. A lot of people think if you commit to doing one video that you have to do it every month over and over. That's not so. You can do it 1 month, 2 months, 4 months. I don't care. You can do it every month if you want to, but you don't have to. So don't feel obligated if you decide to join me. And another thing I would like to say, if you are a crafter and you've been thinking, you know what, I watch these people do this and I think I can do that, do it. I encourage you to do it. make yourself a YouTube channel and show us what you got. You never know. When I started it, somebody encouraged me to do it. It was Sammy over at Unicorn Dust Designs. And I just kind of laughed and I thought, yeah, right. Nobody's going to want to see what I have to make. And now I am pushing 4,000 subscribers and just become monetized. And I'm so tickled at the way my whole channel has progressed. And God is so good, and He's blessed me so much with this. And I feel like I've really, really grown in the things that I make from the beginning of my channel till now. I feel like I've really gotten a lot better. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about my wildflower choices today. Let me know what you think about all of my DIYs and my channel in general. Let me know what you would like to see coming up for this year. But thank you for coming to Monter's Market. Thank you for watching. I'm so tickled that you're here again today. Your support means everything to me. And thank you to all of the creators who are joining me today. I wish you all a happy new year. God bless you. Bye now.